Hello everybody, I'm Deb Courtney. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So glad you're here today. I want to take a couple of weeks to talk about perfect life. There was a time in my life when I thought about that and what all that looks like to me. And I thought, you know what, this might be a good topic to share with you. And so I hope you don't mind me taking a couple of weeks to do this. I want to explore the concepts of having a perfect life and what that detailed and looked like for me. I wanted to believe that I could have a perfect life. My definition of perfect life might not look like anything that your definition of your perfect life would look like. Everybody's on a different journey. Our lives are different. But I believe you can have a perfect life. I believe it's something that you have to be intentional about. I know it's something that will not fall out of the sky and drop in your lap like a lot of things don't do either. You have to work at it. You have to be intentional about it. You have to go out and create things. And because, hey, there are certain ways I want to live my life. And in order for me to get that job done and what I want to look like, I have to make it happen. And you know what? I like doing that. That gives me the energy and vitality and keeps me going forward. And it works for me. So I wanted to find out how could I raise the bar as far as the quality of life that I could have and what all that looks like. So I'm going to share that with you. And these are areas that I wrote down that I thought would help me in regards to having that perfect life. I don't know if you've thought about these or not, but I'm going to give you the ones that I've thought about. The first area I thought about a long time ago had to do with love. I thought, okay, what does that look like in regards to relationship and family? Those are the two areas I wanted to focus on as far as love is concerned. My relationships that I have, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, brothers, sister, husband, children. And have I been good at love? Not all the time. No, not where I need to be. But I'm not where I used to be. Love and family, not where I need to be, not where I used to be. It's always ongoing. And this is stuff I wrote down 15 years ago. And I'm still working on it. The next one has to do with freedom. I thought that an area of having freedom, and what does that look like to me in my life being perfect? And it has to do with, for me, freedom has to do with money and financial independence. And that's what I work towards. And it looks different. Your definition of freedom would look different for you than it does for me, and that's okay. The next one I have written down was happiness. The area of a perfect life would have to do, for me, is happiness. Pleasure has to do with pleasures and joy. Traveling. Seeing my family members growing up and doing the things that they want to do, getting the joy out of that. The next one I had wrote down was vitality. To me, the area of a perfect life would have to do with the area of vitality. And that has basically to do with self-care and the amount of energy that I have, and how I can keep that self-care and energy going day in and day out. The next one has to do with success. And I'm talking about success in business and career. What do I need to implement in my business and career to have the success that I want to have in order for me to live a perfect life? The next one has to do with connectivity. This is an area for me that I wanted to have a network of in the community, in a network of people that and whatever I endeavor to do, what's that network going to look like of people in order for me to get the job done? So I needed to know how can I connect with that in order to make that successful? And I'm always perfecting it because your people are always coming and going. So it's like I said, it's a lifelong journey. Ease. I think a perfect life looks like you've got to have some ease there. What I mean is your approach to life. And you can have a hard life if you want a hard life, or you can have a not so hard life, an easy life. And you know what? It depends upon what your definition of easy is. My definition of easy may not be the same as yours. Richness is the word that I came with. It has to do with lifestyle and quality of life. You get to decide. I get to decide the richness of our life, of a perfect life, quality of life, our lifestyle, and what that entails, and how to obtain those things. I don't know if I said success, but success was one thing I've got wrote down. Success as far as business and career. Advancement. I wrote down evolution and development. And what I'm talking about there is how we evolve through the decades of our lives. The way we think in our 20s does not look like the way we thought in our teens. The way we think in our 30s, our decades of 30s, and I broke it down in 10-year increments, does not look like the way we looked in our we thought in our 20s. The way we live and think in our 40s does not look like the way we lived and thought in our 30s. You see what I'm going? You see how I'm saying and where I'm going with that? So I'm talking about our evolution of development and the way we've moved through life and the steps we've taken. And have we messed up in life? But maybe, yes, But what do I do to get back on track to make my life perfect? A lot of times people's life looks terrible in their 20s and 30s. It was a learning and experiencing and doing wrong things and figuring out that didn't work and that didn't work and that didn't work and that didn't work. And there's nothing wrong with that, because eventually, hopefully, you'll get to the point where I'll say, okay, I've experienced all these things. These things doesn't work. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you find out they didn't work at that time, but now they may work at this time. So that's where the evolution of learning things and experiencing life and how you've developed through life that you've made the advancements that can help you obtain the perfect life. Okay? Grace. One of the words I wrote down, in order to have one of the areas of a perfect life, you have to have grace, or I had to have grace. And it is awareness and spirituality. We're a 3-part being. We have a body, we have a spirit, we have a soul, which is made up, the soul is made up of our mind, our will, and our emotions. So we are a spirit being, whether we like it or not. You have a spirit inside of you. And how I can take that area of grace and become more aware of that and what that looks like as far as how it works for me. The next word that I wrote down had to do with, it was synergy, communication and collaboration of skills. And that's learning, finding out, knowing somebody that has a certain skill, going to that individual and say, I've got this thought, idea, and suggestion. I'd like to run it by you and see what you think. And I've done that over and over and over and over again. You know, there's two ways to learn in this world: mistakes and mentors. This girl, I'd a whole lot rather learn from a mentor than to go out and make the mistakes. Have I made mistakes? Yes. But I have learned, one of the things I have learned in order to have a perfect life is to have a mentor that I can go to in regards to a certain topic, a certain interest that I have, and say, can you help me with this? Have you got a moment, or when you get a moment, I'd like to talk to you about such and such. And that's how I like to have my communication and collaborate in regards to a skill that I'm interested in. And then the last one I have is self-expression, creativity, and experimentation. Because life, that shows up. It shows up like automatically. And I am a created being. I have creativity about me. And I experiment with stuff. Does this work? Does that not work? You know, and that can be a plethora of topics, on and on and on and on. So these are 12 areas that I have thought about, and I wanted to share them with you to see if either one of these you could think about in order for you to have a more perfect life than maybe what you're experiencing now. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed exploring all these things. Every one of these I have dealt with and still dealing with them. So glad you found me. Glad I found you. Go ahead and make it a great day, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.